We recently ordered the 1190 P Dockstart Setup, a suitable foil for foil pumping beginners, but also great for advanced foilers. This foil from the High Performance series is the successor to the 1100P from the regular foil series, which is unfortunately no longer available. In this video we show you the differences and features of the two foil setups. But first, let's unpack. The individual parts are all safely packed in boxes and padded envelopes, and the boxes are also labeled with the part names. What I actually missed was an assembly or operating manual. And, unfortunately, there is no carrying bag included. The front wing comes with a protective cover, completely without brand imprints and with a great carbon look. I have to mention here that the screws for fastening were still in the box, so next time check better. A stabilizer with a span of 42 cm is included for the Dockstart setup, also in a protective cover. The aluminium fuselage of the Performance series is significantly different from the regular series, but we'll look at that in detail later. The aluminium mast is identical to the 1100P foil. The carbon mast can be mounted directly with the fuselage, but this adapter is necessary for the aluminium mast. The mast plate is also identical, and of course matching screws with track nuts are included. Here we have the stabilizer adapters. The set consists of 3 pieces, 0, 1 and 2 degrees. The long mast fastening screws come with a matching Torx key. Here we have an additional set of screws for mounting the mast plate and the 2 smaller screws for the stabilizer, also with a Torx key. The two front wings are almost identical in shape. The 1190 is a smoothed out version of the 1100 in terms of the wingtips. The downward curved wingtips are very beginner friendly, as they reduce the risk of injury when falling into the wing. The wingtips of the 1190 end in a straight line, which then results in the larger wingspan, but they are still somewhat clipped, which is good for safety. At over 4 liters, the volume of the two wings is identical. The profile is therefore very thick and generates sufficient lift even at very low takeoff speeds during dock starts. Of course, there are disadvantages in the greater drag and more pumping energy has to be put in, but as a beginner you should definitely accept this compromise. According to the specification, the surface area of the 1190 is almost 10% smaller than that of the 1100. This is surprising, as this difference is not visible, and the 1190 should be larger due to the straight wingtips. The mounting system has changed fundamentally, from the plug-in system with square profile to an on-top mounting, which significantly reduces the flow resistance. However, this feature prevents the regular series from being interchangeable with the High Performance series. A completely different fuselage is required. The features of the High Performance fuselage in summary: longer, slimmer and therefore lighter. The stabilizer is no longer screwed from above, but from below, and this adapter is required to connect it to the aluminium mast. The carbon mast can be screwed directly to the fuselage without an adapter. The mounting screws for the stabilizer on the regular foil series had a diameter of 8 mm. On the High Performance series the screws are only 6 mm. The rear end of the fuselage could therefore be designed to be slimmer. Both fuselages have 3 positions for mounting the stabilizer. The step size for the High Performance fuselage has been made a little smaller, from 50 mm to 35 mm. Like the front wing, the stabilizer has a nice carbon look without any logos or prints. The wingspan is 42 cm, identical to the 1100 setup, but as you can see for yourself, the stabilizer is more narrow and therefore the surface area is much smaller. We generally recommend a larger stabilizer for beginners, but in this case this is compensated by the longer fuselage. The angle adapters are not interchangeable, in contrast to the 1100 setup with 8 mm screws and mounting from the top. The 1190 setup uses screws with a diameter of 6 mm and mounting to the fuselage takes place from below. If you choose the aluminium mast for the High Performance series, it is the same mast as the regular series. Unfortunately, Indiana has no other options between 50 and 75 cm. 50 cm is definitely too short for pump foiling, but it would be nice to have something 65 cm long. The base plate is also identical. As with most other manufacturers, the hole spacing for the mounting screws is 165 by 90 mm. The holes are designed for 8 mm countersunk head screws. The cartridge system provides a strong connection with the fuselage. This adapter is required for mounting with a high-performance fuselage. However, this makes the system interchangeable and they can be mounted on the same mast. We hope that this video has given you an overview of the 1100 and the 1190 Dockstart setup from Indiana. Both foils are very suitable for getting started with pump foiling due to the large wing area. In our opinion, the 1100 is easier to handle when dock starting with its smaller wingspan, and the downward curved wingtips are also an interesting aspect in terms of the risk of injury. But the 1190 as a successor is also an excellent choice for beginners, and also advanced riders will have fun with this foil for a long time to come.